Ladies and gentlemen, champions of destiny, I want you to understand something powerful today. The path to greatness is not paved with comfort. It is carved through struggle. Hard times don't come to destroy you, they come to define you. Every storm, every setback, every disappointment is not the end of your story. It is the shaping of your character. When life knocks you down, and it will, don't stay there. Get back up with more determination than before. Because greatness is not born in the spotlight. It is born in the dark, when no one is watching, when you keep fighting, when you refuse to quit. See, the truth is this pain is temporary, but greatness is forever. Struggles are the price life demands for strength, for resilience, for victory. The people who rise to the top are not the ones who never fell. They are the ones who got up again and again and again. Your hard times are the soil in which your greatness is planted. If you can endure, if you can believe, if you can keep moving forward, you will step into a future that will make every sacrifice worth it. Don't just go through hard times, grow through them. Because your pain can become your power, and your struggle can reveal your strength. So today, when you see difficulty, I challenge you, don't see defeat, see greatness through hard times. That's how champions are made. Greatness does not come when everything is easy, smooth, and comfortable. It is not built when life hands you perfect conditions. Greatness is forged in the fire of adversity. Just like steel is refined under intense heat, your character, your courage, and your determination are tested and strengthened in the heat of difficult moments. If life never challenged you, you would never know how much you are capable of enduring. Hard times are the training ground where champions are made. When you go through pain, you are being stretched beyond your limits. And that stretching is uncomfortable, but that discomfort is what makes you grow. Think about a seed. It cannot become a tree until it is buried in darkness, pressed by the soil, pushed by the weight above it. That pressure is not punishment, it is preparation. In the same way, your struggles are not designed to break you, but to bring out a version of yourself you didn't know existed. Every person who has achieved greatness has a story filled with trials, setbacks. You in moments of deep struggle, you may look at their success and only see the glory, but what you don't see are the nights they cried, the times they wanted to quit, the obstacles they had to climb when no one believed in them. Greatness is not inherited, it is earned in the dark places where persistence becomes your only option. The more difficult the journey, the more valuable the victory. You may be in a season where you feel like everything is against you. You may be facing rejection, loss, or failure. But let me tell you, this is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where your strength is being written. The hard times you are living through right now are shaping your mindset, building your resilience, and teaching you how to stand when everything else is pushing you down. Without this storm, you would never discover the power you carry within. Greatness doesn't show up in comfort zones. It reveals itself when you are stretched to your breaking point. It is forged when you're tired but still take another step. It is born when you're discouraged but refuse to give up. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than the situation. Your greatness is waiting on the other side of the hardship you're enduring right now. So when life gets tough, don't curse the hard times. Don't see them as a sign of failure. Instead, recognize them for what they are: the fire that shapes, the pressure that builds, the soil that grows. Your greatness is not in spite of the hard times, it exists because of them. The very challenges you wish would go away may be the very experiences that prepare you to step into the future you've been dreaming of. Pain has a way of making us believe it will last forever. When you are in the middle of it, whether it's emotional pain, financial struggle, or physical exhaustion, it feels endless. But the truth is, pain is only temporary. It has an expiration date. It does not last forever. What does last forever is the strength, the wisdom, and the greatness that comes out of it. Your temporary suffering is producing something permanent that no one can ever take away from you. Every challenge you endure leaves behind a reward that is far greater than the discomfort you felt. Pain teaches you lessons that comfort could never provide. It sharpens your focus, builds your resilience, and gives you a new level of appreciation for success. Think about it. If everything came easy, you would never value it. It is the pain, the sweat, the tears, the sleepless nights that make the victory so meaningful. The pain fades, but the greatness remains. There are countless stories of people who pushed through unbearable pain and achieved greatness that outlived them. Athletes push their bodies to the limit, enduring grueling training sessions because they know the trophy lasts far longer than the muscle ache. Inventors spend years in failure and rejection because they know the breakthrough will last longer than the sting of defeat. The sacrifices you make today will become the legacy you leave tomorrow. When life gets hard, you must remind yourself this is not forever. This is just a season. You might be tired, broken, or feeling like quitting, but if you can hold on a little longer, if you can endure the pain without giving up, you will step into a reward that will outshine every struggle. Pain comes to test you, but greatness comes to stay. The pain is fleeting, the results are eternal. Think about the times you suffered before and came out stronger. At the moment, it felt impossible, but you overcame it. That difficulty is now behind you. But what remained was the confidence, the strength, and the resilience you built in the process. Every trial you survive makes you more prepared for the next level of life. The temporary pain you feel today is shaping a permanent greatness inside of you. So whenever pain shows up, don't run from it. Don't see it as the end of your journey. Instead, face it with the mindset that it is only a visitor passing through your life to prepare you for something greater. The hurt will go away, the struggle will end, but the greatness you build through endurance will last forever. Falling down is not failure, staying down is. Every single one of us will face moments when life knocks us flat on our back, times when our plans collapse, when we're rejected, when the weight of the world feels unbearable. But the true test of greatness is not in how many times you fall, it is in how many times you rise after the fall. And every setback is an opportunity for a comeback, but only if you make the decision to stand again. When you get back up after being knocked down, you prove something not only to the world but to yourself. You show that your spirit is stronger than your circumstances. You teach yourself that defeat is not permanent, that mistakes are not the end, and that nothing can keep you down unless you allow it to. Every time you rise, you take back control over your life and your destiny. Think about a child learning to walk. They stumble, fall, and sometimes even cry, but they keep getting back up until they master the steps. Imagine if a child stopped after the first fall, no one would ever learn to walk. Life is the same. You may fall countless times, but if you keep getting up, eventually you will walk into your greatness. Failure is not falling down, it is refusing to rise again. Greatness doesn't demand perfection, it demands persistence. The champions, the leaders, the visionaries you admire are not people who never fell. They are people who fell, sometimes harder than anyone else, but chose to rise again and again. Each rise made them stronger, each comeback made them wiser, and each scar told the story of resilience that shaped their success. You cannot let one fall define your entire journey. Some people never move forward because they let a single mistake, a single rejection, or a single loss convince them they are finished. But the truth is, falling is a natural part of progress. It is not proof of weakness, it is proof that you are trying, that you are moving, that you are daring to step outside your comfort zone. And with each rise, you grow closer to the greatness that is waiting for you. So no matter how hard the fall, no matter how painful the blow, remind yourself that you still have the strength to rise. Even if you rise slowly, even if you rise with scars, rise anyway, because every time you get back up, you declare that your spirit cannot be broken, and that more than anything else is the mark of true greatness. Hard times are not just obstacles in your path, they are the soil where your future greatness is planted. Just like a seed cannot grow without being buried in the ground, you cannot grow without experiencing some darkness, pressure, and struggle. At first, it feels like everything is against you, as if the weight of life is crushing you, but in reality, you are being planted. And when you are planted, it means growth is on the way. Think about it, nothing worth having grows in comfort. Farmers know that for a seed to transform into a tree, it must endure the soil, the storms, the rain, and the sun. Each part of the process strengthens it and prepares it to stand tall. Your struggles are doing the same for you. Every challenge you face is watering the seed of your potential. Every obstacle is pushing your roots deeper so that you can rise higher. When you look back at your life, you will realize that your biggest growth moments didn't come when everything was easy. They came when life was tough. Struggles force you to dig deeper, to think differently, to push past your limits. Without them, you would remain the same, stagnant and unchanged. But with them, you evolve into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling the blessings waiting for you. Hard times also reveal what is truly inside of you. Just like pressure reveals the strength of a structure, adversity reveals the strength of your character. You may not realize how much resilience, courage, and determination you carry until life forces you to use them. Growth happens in those moments when you are stretched beyond what you thought you could handle. That stretching is not punishment. it is preparation. The soil of struggle also teaches patience and faith. A seed doesn't sprout overnight, it takes time, care, and consistency. In the same way, your growth may not be visible right away. You may feel stuck, but something is happening beneath the surface. The hard times you are experiencing right now are nurturing qualities in you that will carry you through future battles. Trust the process, because nothing in nature blooms all year round, but when the season is right, growth is undeniable. So instead of running from hard times, embrace them as part of your growth journey. Recognize that the challenges you face are not here to bury you, they are here to grow you. Every storm is watering your seed, every difficulty is strengthening your roots, and every setback is preparing you for a greater comeback. Hard times are not your enemy, they are the foundation on which your greatness is built. Every great story is written with chapters of struggle. When people look at the lives of those who inspire them, they often see the highlight reel, the victories, the awards, the success. But what gives those stories power are the struggles behind them. Without struggle, there is no story worth telling. It is the pain, the obstacles, the failures, and the comebacks that make your journey meaningful and impactful. Your struggle is not something to be ashamed of, it is something to embrace, because it is shaping the very testimony that will inspire others. People don't connect with perfection, they connect with perseverance. They are moved not by the fact that you had it easy, but by the reality that you faced battles, endured storms, and still found the strength to rise. Your scars tell the world that you survived, and survival itself is powerful. When you go through struggle, you are not just building your own story, you are creating a roadmap for someone else. There is someone out there who will face the same challenge you are enduring now, and your journey will become the evidence they need to keep going. The story of your fight will give them the courage to fight theirs. That is the beauty of struggle. It makes your story bigger than you. Think of the most impactful speeches, books, or legacies throughout history. They are never tales of ease and comfort. They are stories of endurance, sacrifice, and triumph over adversity. The world remembers not those who had smooth paths, but those who fell and rose, who suffered yet kept moving forward, who turned their struggle into strength. Your story will be remembered the same way if you dare to keep pushing through. Struggles also give your victories more value. A mountain climber doesn't cherish the view simply because it's beautiful. They cherish it because of the blood, sweat, and effort it took to reach the peak. The climb, the struggle makes the view worthwhile. In the same way, your story is not just about reaching the destination. It's about the journey, the fight, and the courage you showed along the way. So don't despise your struggle. Don't wish it away or see it as wasted time. Every hardship you endure is writing a page in your story that will inspire, empower, and encourage someone else. One day, you will look back at your journey and realize that it wasn't the easy days that made your story worth telling. It was the battles you survived, the nights you didn't give up, and the storms that shaped your destiny. Life has a way of throwing circumstances at us that feel overwhelming, unfair, and permanent. But circumstances are not who you are. They are simply where you are. Too many people allow their current conditions to write their identity, to convince them that they are limited, powerless, or stuck. But greatness comes when you rise above your circumstances and declare, "This situation will not define me. I will define myself." Circumstances may shape the environment around you, but they do not control the fire within you. You may be broke, but that doesn't mean you are broken. You may have failed, but that doesn't mean you are a failure. You may be in pain, but that doesn't mean you are powerless. The labels that life tries to attach to you are temporary. What lasts is a decision you make about who you truly are and what you are capable of. Many of the world's greatest achievers began in circumstances that looked impossible. Some grew up in poverty, some faced rejection over and over again, and some were told by others that they would never succeed. But what set them apart was that they refused to let their environment define their destiny. They chose to rise above what they saw, to believe in something greater than their current reality. And because they did, their stories changed not only their lives, but the lives of others. When you allow circumstances to define you, you hand over your power. You tell yourself, "I can't because of this situation." But when you define yourself by persistence, vision, and determination, you reclaim control over your life. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being a creator of your future. That shift in mindset is what separates those who give up from those who keep climbing until they reach the top. Circumstances will always change. What feels like a mountain today may be nothing more than a memory tomorrow. If you tie your identity to your circumstances, you will always be at the mercy of change. But if you tie your identity to your inner strength, your values, and your vision, then no matter how many storms come, you will stand firm. Your power is not in what happens to you, it's in how you choose to respond. So, when life tries to define you by hardship, don't accept the label. When circumstances tell you that you are finished, refuse to believe it. When the world counts you out, count yourself back in. Greatness is not determined by where you start, it is determined by how far you are willing to go despite where you started. And that begins with deciding that no circumstance, no matter how hard, will ever define who you are.